Thunder! Is there a word more appropriate for such a stream as this than thunder? The kind of thing that tumbles unbidden out of the sky and into your lap, like a stream of Disciples 2, which we have to deal with at this day. Zenith Dante. And why not? Kapow! 41 months of power, forsooth, and to many more. Here's to that. Flash, also a nice word we could issue. Now there's business. Well, there's things we didn't do when we looked at Disciples 2 last, so I thought we might as well have a look at it today. One of those is we didn't look at all of the units of the Legions of the Damned, which I'm actually completely ignorant of because I never play as the devils. I only know them from the other side. So we should have a look at that. And the second thing is I didn't share with you the wonderful narration. Oh, maybe because we watched the intro. I guess maybe it was there, but the premise of the various missions is well read. It's one of the finest. I don't think you can enlist the wolves. They are deadly. They're deadly, but they peak early, right? You can go beyond the wolves and then deal with them without fear. Without fear at all. Disciples 2. Here we are. Unpause. What a wonderful game. It's very beautiful. Maybe you can enlist the wolves. I don't know. Look at this gorgeous river here. So what I thought I'd do is I'd look at the Legions of the Damned and all of their units just to see them. And then I thought we'd start the campaign. I don't know which faction. Probably the Mountain Clans again. So that we can get some of the narration and some of the... just a little bit of the magic. We'd probably have... this game... as much as I want to go on and, like, not save and suffer all the losses, if you lose your main hero in your campaign, it's, like, irrecoverable. To me, it seems like you're intended to have the one main hero and take them through the whole campaign. Because each level has, like, an experience cap on it. Right? And you can't get to level like 3 or 4 in the first mission. You have to wait until the next mission to get level 3 or 4. And there's not enough experience in the whole map of like mission 2 to get to the experience cap. So it's like you're meant to, and if you make some mistake, and the way the game, it's kind of one of the flaws of the game is that the missions and the quests are designed in such a way they will often just spring things on you. Like you'll go to attack a foe and dialogue will pop up, and your attack will be cancelled, and you'll still use all the movement points, and you're at a complete disadvantage. Like you have to just know there's some quirks, is what I'm saying. Let's load up a quest, however. New quest, one with the demons in it, so we can have a look. Let's just do this one. The Malden Islands were once a utopia. Maldenians experienced a life that consisted of learning, feasting, and falling in love. Such perfection often attracts the attention of dark entities. Now, there's the Empire available in this one. The Undead Hordes aren't available, never mind them. There we are. Oh, whoops. Go back. The Legion... There's the Dwarven Brothers. Not just the dwarfs, mind you. Alright. Legion of the Damned. Let's have a look. Look at the demonic figures you can get to represent you here. Look at this one. It's like a complete mesh of teeth. It's all mouth and no, all maw but no mouth, and all teeth but no... It's like something that your brain can't interpret. That's as close as you can get. Very demonic. Alright? Look at this one. This has got a Dracularian aspect. Bar Babylon, eh? Necron. Let's see. I don't know. I could have been referring to a couple of different things. Necron is the name of the villain in Fire and Ice, though, so I might have been referring to Fire and Ice. who is also the influence for the Age of Barbarians, like, villain from the first Age of Barbarian game. I'm not sure. I can't summon the full context of that stream, for 'twas long ago. Which is the... Oh, and there's also this mysterious figure here. Some Queen of the Damned. She seems the most relatable. At least she presents like a human-esque face. Warrior, Mage, and Guild Master. I know I don't much care for the Guild Master, like, the first lord it gives you. Well... And I don't know what the others are really like, exactly. You know, I don't know the secrets of the Legions of the Damned. As anti-heroic as this is, that's why we're not going to stick with it. We're going to look at the units. She's got an Italian nose, alright. Necron is a fine... Fire and Ice is a fantastic film, by the way. I don't know what the Mage Lord is like, and I don't know what the Warrior Lord is like. Mage Lord, that's heretical enough. What's a good name for a character such as this? Karatina? Hard. I've learned that putting it on hard at least is a good idea, and it's probably good to put it on very hard at a certain point as well. It gets too easy on normal, but hard I've found to be challenging enough when I've been playing it of late. Here we are, a return to simpler times. During the Great Wars, people from all backgrounds fought and died protecting their loved ones. The Malden Islands suffered heavy casualties, and now the families of the departed try their best to put together the pieces of their broken lives. Some refuse to accept that their family is gone. By the way, if you don't keep up with the text, look what you can do. You can just do this. Why isn't this a feature in every game? You can just do this. A widow by the name of Aleden seeks out kindred spirits. Her search leads her to the woman known as the Witch of the Scorned. The witch listens attentively to the widow's story and is sympathetic to her pain. Reluctantly, the witch promises to help the young widows of the land. For the Empire, you must transform 50% of the terrain and capture the cities Cordelia and Polonilos Port. And if you're the Legion of the Damned, you have to transform 50% of the terrain and capture Polonilos Port and Sorgirilla. Sorgirilla. There we go. Now I recommend Fire and Ice to all. It is a wonderful thing. I think it's the superior fantasy animated film of its age. So I like this, the way there's never just skirmish maps in this game. It's like, because it's very difficult to actually eliminate the enemy, you've got to deal with them and accomplish, like, the goals. That's interesting. Alright, devils. Zaroish, or occultist. The widows had formed a circle and the ceremony was underway. One of our witches confronted their Witch of the Scorned and was slain. I heard her gloat, declaring the ceremony a ruse. With the pretense over, the impostor revealed her true self. Standing in her place was a lich. The lich, Hulash, declared that the widows would be reunited with their families. Not human as they were before, but as spectres and zombies. Their loved one shall return as the walking undead. That witch was up to something after all. The Duke here declares, "Why do you bore me with your blabbering? We are here to destroy, not to tell stories. Neither undead filth nor human waste shall stand in my way." Oi. What have we got control of? Who is he? What is this? As a mage lord, I've got this fellow here, Zaroish, the Archdevil. He's a master of the arcane and has knowledge of staffs and scrolls. I should have expected such. And he flies. I actually think all of the champions of the Legion of the Damned fly. Flying means that you never suffer the movement penalties of the terrain, like the forests and the waters. Water is the most punishing. It doesn't block you, but it costs a lot to go past. What are you doing here? There's a spectre with a huge phalanx of warriors and an unexplored ruin. And some feeble goblins. Let's have a look at the other... Oh, look at that city. I don't think... Well, I must have seen this at some point, but I don't think I've seen the demonic stronghold before. Look at it. Look how chaotic it is. This would be something you would certainly see deep in the Chaos Wastes. This is less than $2. This is a bargain. But you do have to find the wrapper. You have to download the special program that helps you run it. Otherwise, I certainly had a lot of trouble, at least, getting it to run. Now, what are the other lords? The Councillor. There's the Duke, the Councillor, and the Archdevil, and of course the Baroness, who we dealt with in our previous games. Under the Baroness's control, the realm transforms into a fiery wasteland. Like most of the so-called rod planters, they have very defensive powers. So she has a fear power, which forces the enemy to flee. This nose is not Italian. Well. The Duke, he's the fighter leader. He flies for definite. The Duke's warlike spirit leads demons into battle, sword in hand. I bet it does. He's not immune or warded against anything. Infernal sword. This is the chief thing about him. The Empire leader, the Pegasus Knight, also flies, which is good. The Councillor. Look at the corruption of the Councillor. Actually, maybe I don't mind the Councillor. Look at him. He's vaguely Jabba-like. The Councillor leads the vanguard of the Legion forces. He travels at high speed upon the lands. Oh, yeah. What a devil. And there's the Thief of the Damned. So it's like there's demons and they're supported by like a human cult. Right? That's like the theme of this faction. I'm just going to install him back in the... so that we can start... Right. So the lowest level of mortal man sort of warrior is the possessed. The demon lord enslaves these strong-bodied peasants to fight in his infernal battles. So they are enslaved. Yeah, they certainly do have peasant-like stats, don't they? There's the cultist. This is the ranged figure. Strikes for 6. And the source is fire. So anything that's warded against fire is fairly safe from them. They only do a little bit of damage. They must upgrade into some serious things. Humans that have an inborn affinity for evil. They can call down fire on entire armies. The cultist. It's a lot of power to load into a feeble, like just the lowest level of cultist. Mind you, he's probably quite high ranking in the ultimate. He's like entry level. Below our notice, figures that we don't even recruit or know about. It'd be like an entire structure. He'd be like an upper tier cultist, worthy of being recruited into our forces here. But these guys are just enslaved for their strong bodies. What about the gargoyle? Those who obey blindly the orders of cruel leaders become stone demons in the afterlife. They suffer in internal fires and turn slowly to stone. Wow. So they're a damned soul, huh? That's interesting. Rock shards. So they're ranged. They can strike any unit. With very high initiative, actually. I wouldn't have thought gargoyles would have very high initiative, but they sure do. And they're immune to poison. What a boon. They're double wide, though. Double wide? Double deep. This is interesting. Like, they've got so many double wide, like, characters. It's like you're expected to use these at least a little. Like, here's a devil. This unclean being menaces the land for his dark lord Bethrazen. What's his health? He's got 170. What do gargoyles have? They've only got 90. They're double wide, but they're they've got like a normal health pool. I wonder what they all develop into. That'll be interesting to see. the devil. Fiend, what is this? He's 300, and in my experience, like these high-cost double-wide monsters are really good to use to put inside towns that you capture, because they sort of dissuade, even if the computer can defeat them with its armies, they sort of dissuade attack a little bit because they add a cost to it. Like the fiend hides its misshapen form within a labyrinthine lair. Okay. Few can resist its furious attack. Slash and poison. So poison's interesting in this game. When you poison one of their units, you do the normal damage of your attack, and the poison damage happens when their turn comes around. Like that's good quality poison, and you can take it into account. Their initiative is 50, so reasonably high as well. Only adjacent units. So none of these are breathing fire on anything. Okay, so how should we construct our... How would we construct an... What have we got? He's a sorcerer of sorts. This must be an advanced cult. We'll get to that. This is like the Ashkael, leader of 80 infernal cohorts. Ashkael was chosen by Bethrazen to guard the Legion's capital, never to leave it unprotected. Bethrazen being the great archdemon, the archdevil. Basically a dark god. It's the source of his attack is life, by the way, and there's a reason for that. Right? There's a reason that a lot of the... Ironically, the undead super monster that lives in the capital also has the life as its source of attack. See, it hits everything for 250, that's a lot. Overcoming the giant monsters in the capitals is extremely difficult, like a highly specialized job, and it's basically not worth doing, except as sort of a stunt. Even though it's an unholy blast, it has life. The reason they have life is because nothing is warded or immune to life, whereas there's all sorts of things... Oh my god.
Hovmani bones voul de bone man banif de bone man banet bad bones.
This mad Romanian woman. Good work, Mydral. Thank you. How many bonus with the Boneman bonus? What? Oh my god. Who knows? The Bone Man has full commission to ban as many bones as he likes. That's wild. Thank you, Mydral, for 100 globets. Where is the magic ruby anyway? That's a whole other question. I never thought I'd enjoy a text-to-speech thing on Here in My Lands, but I enjoy that. Oh my god.
Whose turn is it next? Confess.
Sorviur honeyan yurmakin goldwen de fonerigens. Wanserai de vioceis, vureudoing vimidaukter. Utelur girnes hesai, midadis dead. Tenfhovas fon.
Hey, thank you. Janice instantly confessing as usual. The guilt dripping off him. As it should be from this scenario that I see here. Read absolutely unintelligibly by the mad Romanian woman. There's a whole other matter. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's lesser key of Solomon phrasing here. Always letting you know how many legions of demons that every duke and archduke and baron and governor of hell is. She doesn't have a name that I know of. Well, we'll have to ask her sometime. Anyway, life. It's so that you can't just rock up with a bunch of skeletons or wraiths or whatever it is that are immune to death magic or fire. If this had fire, if it was like a demon who did fire magic, you've got things that are immune to fire or warded against fire. Lyudmila. I don't know. You can call her that if you like. Now let's have a look at the buildings. Oh, there's also, like, we could have the Jargoyle in our party here. Rock shards. He's ranged. Or should we have like 3 possessed men? Or maybe we need a cultist. Maybe we need our sorcerer lord here to be... Maybe we should take this sorcerer. Actually, never mind the sorcerer for the moment. We've got to look at the... Oh, this is the fight. This is the fighter tree here. Who knows what's in the Temple of Grief? Look at what you can build. The Unholy Portal, Tower of Souls, Bethrazin's Idol. But here, if you can forego those things, you can have whatever's in the Temple of Grief. It's like a... It's like one of those, you can have what's in the box, or you can have the Temple of Souls, or what's in the Temple of Grief. Who knows? Now, it's too early for this, but my drink is empty. I have to... I'll be right back. You lot wait there. Hey, up. Krakow! Excuse me, sorry for that. Too early for such matters. Alright. So what happens if you build the unholy portal? Look at this figure here. The Berserker. Right? Disparaging dwarves? You better not be. Oh. It's a good question. Basehole. Perfect. I'll sort it out. Bye.
Chinese PayPal.
PayPal. What PayPal they make? No, it's sure it's in the wings, Basehole. Do not fear. Do not fear. Berserker. It's a whole other matter. Am I gonna have to have unique, different alerts for like PayPal-related donations that people want to do? I don't know. I got one in mind. There's I can have the devils again. There's a moment where they say, "Bring up the coffers," and big piles of gold are brought forth from their dungeony domain. That's a thing that could happen. It must have well, surely Chloe's got to be involved. We'll have to think about it. Now, anyway, the Berserker, here he is. Well, actually, The Berserker battle axes. Oh, look at him. As humanity weakens in these possessed creatures, their violence becomes uncontrollable. Demons are taking over even further. But here they become like actual warriors. 170 health, big. 50 initiative, big. Not slow at all. And 50 damage, pretty respectable. The Tower of Souls. Anti-Paladin. Look at this. The Anti-Paladin is what you get. Berserkers are cast aside. Look at the nobility of feature, if not the nobility of soul, of the Anti-Paladin. Demons have mastered the souls of these once holy warriors. Their virtuous past has long been forgotten. That's a great little blurb for Anti-Paladin. Battle Axe. They don't have any special power. I'm quite surprised they're not warded against something. That's a surprise. Anti-Paladins are terrifying beings. As their name implies, they're the antithesis of everything that the Paladin is. Right? No act is too vile or depraved for the anti-Paladin. You know, they're completely chaotic and evil. They're quite distinct from what we might know as the Blackguard, right? That's a different thing. Some people I've noted have used Blackguard and Anti-Paladin interchangeably. That is in fact not true. They're distinctly different. So what's the final thing? If Anti-Paladin is here in the Tower of Souls, what could the final thing be? Infernal Knight. Okay. They ascend to demonhood. Knights that once fought for the High Father. This is even more corrupt. Their souls have been corrupted to Bethrazin's purpose. They learn to regenerate their... Oh, they learn to regenerate their wounds as Empire cohorts. They regenerate their wounds? Says nothing here of this. Oh, the Infernal Sword. I don't think I've ever seen one of these. Still, the damage source is merely weapon. Infernal Sword, 100 damage. The Infernal Knight. Anti-Paladin. 75, and they use a battle axe. I've seen anti-paladins around. They might have an inbuilt regeneration rate. The text implies it might have been dummied out. Who knows? So you can have all of those things. Or you can go to the Temple of Grief. It's like this character is being discarded for a new person here, though. The anti-paladin who ascends into demonhood. What's in the Temple of Grief? No idea. There is a game here. Don't worry about it. I'm just looking at all the units. Oh, that's where fiends come from! That's where fiends come from. The Temple of Grief. Hides its misshapen form within a labyrinthine lair. They do poison and death. And they take up like 2. So you're giving up... That's a highly strange... Like, you'd be giving up your, like, primary sort of warriors who take up 1 square for a double square fiend, which I thought would be the thing you'd put in the town as a defensive unit. Maybe they're worth taking with you. Like, who knows? They might, like, level very agreeably without transforming, because this is the terminus. You can have this, or not both. Or can you have both? Is this a both thing? I think this might be a both thing. Because if you're in the Empire, you can have... Oh, not the Empire. If you're like the Elves, you can have the Griffins. Ah, yeah. So I misinterpreted the line here. That would be too weird if you had to choose between these two. But if you're the Elves, you've got like the Griffins, and they are part of the magic line of things, but they're a side wheel. They're an addition, so you can get the Temple of Grief. You don't have to take either or. Interesting plus. What about the wizards? Holy smokes, look at all the wizard stuff you can do. Look at all these. The Occult Abbey. Now this is definitely a choice. The Occult Abbey or the Palace of Vice. Holy smokes. Where does it end? And then there's a choice here and a choice here. And all the way down here, the worship shrine. Occult Abbey. So the cultist upgrades into a sorcerer here. Dark sorcerers can summon fiery rain to consume enemy forces. As well they should. Ding! 6 targets. Big damage. The sorcerer. Fully corrupt. He's put his foot on the path long ago. Soul Keep. Oh, the doppelganger. I found a doppelganger once in a ruin, but I've never seen one like... A doppelganger has the unnatural ability to shape its form, thereby confusing its foe. Morph, self, or slash. Alright. I wonder how that works in practice. The doppelganger. It did copy one of my units when I was up against one when I was just playing normally on my own. The doppelganger. I wonder if you can doppelgang into wizards or something like that if you wish. If there's a choice you can make. Hard to say. So you can have them or the demonologist is here. Oh yeah, that makes sense. They're more demonologists. Fire Rain. This is the direct upgrade. There's like what you would expect, which is like a direct upgrade from Sorcerer, which is Demonologist here, because he hits for 6 and does more damage. It's a direct upgrade. The Demonologist creates a storm of flame so powerful that no army can escape it. Yeah, with that hat, he's like the dark mirror of the witch hunter, right? He's like the prey of the witch hunter, perhaps. It's quite strange. They might have some specialized use. Hall of Deceit. An incubus. Incubus turns men to stone with his horrible death cries. Does he indeed? Petrify. All targets, petrify. Interesting. So you have to give up your damage masters for the incubus. You'd have to see this coming a ways ahead and plan for it if you wanted this. This is similar to the Shades from the Undead Army, which can paralyze 6. 65% chance to hit. Man, I'd take that. That's really good. That's extremely good. But what else? Pandemonious. I don't think I've ever seen this before. You can have that or this, which will be a direct upgrade. Pandemonious. The Pandemonious controls infernal fires, incinerating entire armies at once. Direct upgrade. 60 damage, hit for 6, 40 initiative. That's about what we would expect. Not mind. That's the key with these. It's not mind-based. It's not based on anything. Oh, wait, it is based on Earth, pardon me. So it can be warded against. Alright. But the initiative is very low. I think that's even lower initiative than... No, that's the same initiative that the healing units get in other armies, I think, is 20. It's either 20 or 10. Some things have 10, like, I think the Alchemist on the Mountain Clans will have 10, so they'll happen even after this. Pandemonious, but what happens if you... Modeus. Asmodeus without my class in real life is a closely guarded secret. I'm probably some sort of wizard. I may be a bard, in fact, but it's quite hard to say. Drawing strength from the fires of hell, Modeus wreaks fiery havoc on his enemy. My real class is halfling. Old original Dungeons and Dragons halfling. You know, no problem. That's my real class. What was I doing? Modeus. Oh, he's got... Funny. Like, I expected fire immunity to kick in for these, actually, but it didn't happen. That must happen for something else. But I can't ignore... That's like... Dwarf, yeah, fine. But the truth if I'm being really honest, it's probably halfling. that would be which is also like quite close to the spirit of being a bard, so I don't mind that at all. 75 damage, fire. They get a fire ward. Actually, it would be quite in character for them not to be immune to fire, because like the demonic masters would never want like minions that they couldn't burn. Like, what's the point of demons that cannot suffer in the lake of fire? You know, that's what it's for. That's who it's for, actually. So, ward is the best you get. It's not much like undead who have a fair bit of immunities to death, and they've got the werewolf, which is immune to weapons, and the wraith, which is immune to weapons. And a werewolf is very situational, but when that situation comes up, great. Like big blocks of imperial men with no magic, you're fine. You auto win every fight. You know, no problem. So if you don't build the occult abbey, you don't get any of this. You get something else. Your cultist turns into a different thing. Whatever lives in the Palace of Vice. Who knows what it is? A witch, of course, a witch. A witch. Witches dwell in the depths of forests. If bothered, they have been known to retaliate by transforming the hated interlopers. Polymorph, big problem. 80% chance to hit, low initiative. Polymorph. I've been polymorphed, I remember this. They turned me into an imp. I don't know if that's the only thing they do. But they, the imp is not like hell. It's not as good as being paralyzed or petrified. I mean, it's not as good for the opponent, for you, the one doing the paralyzing or petrifying, because that just completely negates everything you can do. But the imp can still strike. So maybe it is better because they still take their action, but it sucks more. Okay, but I think it still ends at the end of the turn. That it's not permanent, and so it doesn't completely negate them. They still do something. They still make an attack, but they're an imp, so it's worse. Palace of Sin. Are they going to be succubuses here? I see the High Temple. All this decadence still leads to labor, though, because we go from Palace of Vice to a windmill, which is kind of not evocative of the temptations of the flesh being indulged. You know, here's this little windmill down here. Yeah, that's alright. Oh, Dante's Inferno. I've got to play that game. Palace of Sin. Hag! Uh-oh. That's when your cute witch starts getting a little older and more sinister. Hags have the ability to transform enemies into anything they desire. The caveat being that hags don't have much imagination, so it's probably still the imps or something like. This is only affects like those who are weak-willed will be affected by. This is kind of an intriguing line. I'd probably go down the witch line if it was me playing these. I'd be tempted to anyway. More witches. So this is starting to make a lot of sense. Like they've got this sort of thing. Your range damage guys, the cultists, turn into. You can have them be witches, which is probably why you have double wide warriors to fill out your man's force, because you're turning. A lot of the time you'd have a backline of like 2 cultists and your sorcerer, or 3 cultists and your warriors in the front or whatever, probably. But you can get a bit more variety with the installation of these witches, which is kind of interesting in and of itself. Alright, what's the last thing? Ah, the succubus. There she is. There she is. Succubi. Demons who cling still to pleasures of mortals. They can transform their opponents into anything they so wish. Now this does every target way reduced chance to hit. So the game values polymorph more highly than I do. But I don't have much experience, I guess. What are they milling? That's the question. What do these demons need to mill? Interesting business. No, she doesn't have to. She uses, like, mind powers to seduce. She doesn't have to look good. She's just given up. She doesn't have to do that anymore. She's got psychic powers. Alright. Ranged attack units extremely limited. The gargoyles turn into marble gargoyles at first. Marble gargoyles are the winged demons of the 6th plane of hell. They are impervious to mind attacks. Pervious to mind attack. They're warded against it, which means they ignore the first mind attack that happens to them in any given scenario. Oh, polymorph can probably polymorph big giant things into something really minor. Probably an imp. And they're immune to poison, as they should be, being gargoyles. And their bodies are too solid to be easily damaged. Very big armor. In fact, the gargoyles have big armor by default. Here's one living in the city. 40. He's got plus 50 for the city. So he starts with 40. The next rank of gargoyle instantly has that armor bonus. Has a greater than city value armor bonus. That's incredible. This is a very high value unit. No wonder it's double wide. Right? Double wide, double deep. Really good. That's more armor than any other unit gets that I've seen. Unless like some of the big Empire Knights get big armor, but I'm not that far through the game yet. Yeah, I see they don't have that much hit point. Right? That would only go up a little bit as they level. Well, they turn into something else, but whatever. They can still hit any unit. They don't hit for 6, which is kind of a disadvantage, and they don't do that much damage. But you're getting some value out of them. What happens at the Onyx Spire? Onyx Gargoyle. 65 armor this time. Hardened by the fires of hell. The Onyx Gargoyle is a threat to enemies of Bethrezen. 85. Pretty good. Pretty strong. Big XP requirement, though. Like, you have to get to 1,650 to get your Onyx Gargoyles. But they're not too bad. The Onyx Gargoyle. Not too bad. Who has their damage changed from weapon to earth? The Empire, man. That's kind of interesting, if so. Interesting if true. So what else have we got? What's in the mystery? Like, we've got... This is interesting to me. That we have, like, the weapon representing fighting classes, the magician classes with the stars, the ranged classes with the arrows, and then the mystery, like the wild card thing, which is where the healers usually are, but I don't think the demons have any of that. What was in the box here? What lives in there? Devils. That must be what's in there. The devils. So they've got upgrades as well. Let's see what it is. Holy smokes, they've got a... I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting big double wide devils to have kind of a limited... Like maybe a 2 or 3... 2 stay I would have expected. Stage... Well, that's 3 really, because you start at 1, you have this 2, then this 3. They upgrade to a demon. This is new to me. On the Unholy Gate, the demon. Okay, is one of these going to do the classic thing where they summon more of themselves? So you can get around with an army with one of them, and like it has like... Well, there's only room for 2 more. Or 1. There's only room for 1 more. Oh, you can't do that? Ah. Well, it'd be a bit wild. The game is not made for that sort of thing. You can't gate in a bunch of more demons. Demon! Slash. Adjacent units. Demons inhabit the lower regions of hell. They are more powerful than the lesser devils. I would expect some Balor things in here. There'll be a Balrog in one of these. Maybe in the Unholy Mansion here. Who knows? The Torment Chapel. Oh, look at this hellish bloody thing here. The Moloch. It's terrible. Oh, this is the kind of demon that that portrait devil is. With the uninterpretable face. Molochs gain power and strength by devouring the souls of those they slay. Well, well. Adjacent units, 110. No armor. Lots of health, though. They've got... The devils have strong health content. What's their initiative? 35. Low initiative, as expected of a big lumbering bloody thing here. So we've got a choice here. Unholy Altar or Hellish Portal. Which leads to Unholy... The Slave Dungeon down here. It looks tiny, though. It looks like a shack. Up on a hill. The Unholy Halls and Unholy Mansion. Or Slave Dungeon. Unholy Altar. The Beast. Oi. The Great Beast. The very form of malfeasance. None can escape the reach of this monstrosity. So he hits 6 targets. With a way, I wonder what he even looks like. He's probably got tentacles or something horrible like that. Says it's a slash. He must have some wild way of delivering it. The dreaded beast. From the very pit. What could possibly be the upgrade of the beast? Whatever it is, it's in the slave dungeon. Tiamat. Oi. Attached to Bethrazin's hellish throne. Tiamat is only released during Bethrazin's demented frenzies. No wonder he's all the way down the bottom. This is a lot of flavor here. These are very limited, specific monsters. They lower damage, which is a mind effect, which is very interesting. They hit everyone for 100. Very powerful. Not much room in the army for these, because they're double wide, though. But they're probably, like, arguably pretty worth it, really. Everything for 100, and you lower their damage. Doesn't say how by how much. And with a very high chance to hit. And by the if you're playing the campaign, a lot of health, yeah, big. If you're playing the campaign, by the time you're getting these, you'll have like banners and stuff that will increase the chances to hit for your army. Up close to 100, if not at 100. Depends what you find, I guess. I don't know what's out there. So instead of those, you can choose the Hellish Portal instead of the Unholy Altar. And Molochs thereafter becomes the Demon Lord. Look at this. He is the twin of the Lord selection as well. The Demon Lord is a sovereign of hell. As such, they lead devilish armies for Bethrazin. So we've got a nobility here. We go from the demons here to beasts. These bestial things, barely contained. To these are like chaotic evil here, and these are lawful evil. Looks like it's the direction it's heading. These demon lords. Demon Lord is a sovereign. Chances to hit. This is a major demon. If things have escalated to this level, the lands are in big trouble. 140 damage to one unit. Initiative of 40, quite slow. Big health. And he's got an axe, which is big. Pretty good. Double wide, double deep. And they split into 2. That's fascinating, eh? Unholy Halls. The Overlord. What on earth are you? Overlords control the most unruly inhabitants of hell. Occasionally they are needed above ground. I don't believe a word of it. Occasionally they're... Infernal Blade, 170 damage. No special features other than that, but they're a big juggernaut with a lot of health. 570. No mere goblin is grinding through that. But the Unholy Mansion. The Abyssal Devil. Abyssal Devil. Look at you. Oh, it's a hellish bloody thing, isn't it? Abyssal devils emerge from the depths of hell, but rarely. Their appearance can make cowards of the most experienced warriors. Oh, I was expecting fear effect here, but it's petrify. Petrify, also thematic. Right, holds them in place. Although this normally is Yeah, the three-headed depiction with Judas Iscariot in one of the mouths and what have you. There's three. There's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I see. A few changes there. I'm on the... It's a little hard to track from the outside all of the discrete expansions and upgrades for this game. Like Disciples 3, even though I have not much time for it, it's got like 3 different versions with very similar names. Resurrection and Renaissance, and you're like, which one is which? Unless you're into it and you know. It's a little hard to approach. Now, what was I doing? Oh, Petrify. Yeah. Different to Paralyze. Petrify is like the rock effect. Which is interesting that it's a mind thing. Isn't Petrify effect normally Earth? But, well, whatever. This is thematically appropriate. 140 damage. That's nowhere near the mega damage dealt over here. But we're paying for that Petrify effect, which is pretty good. It'll make... It's only got a 40% chance of hitting, but if it does indeed hit, then the opponent who is struck will lose their turn. Such things are also super good for like big monsters if you want to hunt them down. You can do that very effectively as an undead player, actually. If you've got to deal with like krakens and other giant monsters just on the map, you can paralyze them with your ghosts and just hold them in place and not worry about them. Or put a werewolf up front if you want to invest in a werewolf, which is 1,000 gold. Like, a werewolf is very expensive and not very effective. They don't evolve into anything else, but you can have them. They only do 40 damage, but they're immune to weapons. So if it's a big melee monster in front of you, you can put a werewolf in front of it and you've got nothing to fear, basically. Look at the look of the temple, eh? The Mage Tower is a bizarre orb. That's the Mage Tower, eh? And there's the guild. We're the thieves. There's the Mage Tower there. Very chaotic, this. Here's how it looks on the map. It's a big eruption of stone. It's like a portal of hell. And they've built like a little outpost here. And all the little cult members from all around the land have come and they dwell here in this Legion's habitation, all the mortal folk. And all this land has been burned. It's like a hell has burst up from the ground and it's all spilled out onto the natural landscape. And has warped it terribly. You know, it's hideous. There's an outpost. It's an outpost of hell. So what should we put in our man's army here if we were going to play this out? We've got a sorcerer here. Maybe we just need a bunch of... We could just do this, because he's only got leadership of 3, surely, yeah. He can only have 3 men. So we could see the sorcerer in action and the cultist in action and the possessed. He is possessed. Let's fight these goblins immediately.
Sanctuara Demio. Pia Sinestra.
Alright, there's our possessed man, there's a cultist. Look at the lordliness of the sorcerer. He's got his earthly rewards, hasn't he? This is the problem with going in with demons, is you get earthly rewards. But you must spend eternity in privation. It's not a good deal. It's not worth it. Don't go in with devils, everybody. This is a bad choice. The possessed. Alright, sorcerer. Big magic. Yeah, look at that. It's everything. These goblins don't know what's up. And the cultist is the lesser form of the sorcerer. So he's still a bit like there's like a homespun quality to him, like in terms of being a sorcerer. There's nothing grandiose. It's all a bit rough, and here, wear this skull sort of thing. This is our cult, secret cult in the woods, meeting in secret. Now the demons have come, and he's sort of got a position within the legions here, and here's an actual demon commanding him. And he may ascend to sorcererdom, where he doesn't have to wear a mask and be secret. You know, he can openly walk the land. Oh, he missed though. Oh. And the sorcerer here, or the archdevil, I should say, damage of 30, hits all units. At this point, this sorcerer's equaled him in magical power. Technically, he doesn't have any of this stuff, though. And he doesn't have any leadership. A big lash of flame. There, good. 3 experience. And we've got to get to 95 to upgrade him into something else. Look at the look on his face there. The possessed. He can become a berserker. He'll never get those fine robes at this rate. There's a treasure here. Here's our mine. We control this because our landscape is on it. Disciples 2, and Disciples 1 presumably, but I've never played it. There's a game of landscapes, shifting landscapes. And it's wonderful. I don't think I'd take that on too quickly. Like, this has got 2 ghosts and a spectre, all of which can, like, paralyze your army. And, this just paralyzes better. And the warlock is the equivalent of our sorcerer, basically. And the fighter is the rough equivalent of our... Well, their initiative would be very low. We could probably burn them down. We might try that. What's the initiative of our magicians? Anyway. 40. Yeah, that's greater than the ghosts. If we can kill the spectre... Do you think the combined damage of these guys, like we've got 60, 75, I'm pretty sure the Spectre's got higher than 75. But we can probably burn the ghosts down, right? I don't think they've got 75 health from memory. Or they might. If they do, it's a problem. If we get those down, the Spectre can only paralyze one of us. And I'm pretty sure the Warlock might hurt us. But he won't kill any of us, I don't think. It'd be a good fight anyway. While that's going on, we don't have enough magic to actually research any of this, but let's have a look. Incantare Hellhound. Summons a fire-breathing hellhound. Have a look at the magic. Oh, illusion! Incantare Hellhound Illudere. This is all Italian, by the way. The Italian noses were true. Makes sense to me. I think this is Italian. Tormentio. Reduces by 50 the armor of target units. Big anti-imperial magic there. Is it Latin? Well, it would be, wouldn't it? That's those Italian. Well, it makes sense because the Empire is also... I guess the Empire is sort of Holy Roman model Empire. Ignis Mare, look at this. 15 points of fire damage. Menta Minoris. Mind damage. That's unique. I've never seen, like, mind damage so far. This is a unique... effect. I've never seen damage being done by mind before. It's usually other secondary effects as far as I've seen. Oh, the Beliar. I've seen a Beliar or two. That's a demon that you can summon. I'd like to see some of these hellhounds. Beliar Illudere. To fool the opponent into thinking you've got a Beliar running around. Costs the same. Oh no, it costs much less. Excuse me. So what's the cost of the Hellhound Illusion? Is much less. Okay. So you can toy with your opponent a little bit, which probably isn't going to fool the computer very well, unless the computer is specifically programmed to be fooled. In which case it'll be good. It does act interestingly, like it'll back off if you move your units around a little bit, even if you can't really threaten it. I was going to ask if the illusions can... how dare you insinuate such a thing, Basehole? How dare you insinuate? Forsooth. Be ashamed. What about Cursa Demonius here? Reduced by 15% the damage inflicted. And you can reduce their initiative. That's very powerful. The Chronos spell. Infernal Mana is what we start next to. Alright, on the map. We should start next to it. There it is. This is Infernal Mana, these mana crystals here. You see these things? These, they come in various flavors. We start next to Infernal Mana. We don't have the luxury of all of our things being Infernal Mana forever. So eventually we're going to need different types of mana to get to the big magic. The higher up you go, the more different types you need. And that translates to you needing to control more land. In a way that parallels Magic the Gathering, believe it or not. You need to control more land. Like you need some swamps and you need some plains, you know, in addition to your mountains. Right? Chronos is Greek, isn't it? This is all thrown together, this chaotic jumble of language. Is that how it is? Menta potent, 50 points of mind damage. Alright, interesting. We're not getting anywhere near any of this. Like, if we were to play this scenario out, we wouldn't get anywhere near any of that because the map's not big enough to contain anything like, that's how we spell it. Konnichiwa ain't Japanese. I don't have the letter K. I got a whole other system. It does contain the sound, however. Orky, forsooth. 39 months of power. The Orcan brethren have arrived. And well, they should. End of turn. Ludmilla's not saying anything to this. Yeah. The Empire will punish your insolence. You get taunts from your opponents at the first turn. There we are. The unholy chalice is around here. I can sense its filthy power. The port city. Yes. The unholy chalice must be in Brigham's Port. That's a clue. That's another thing the scenarios do, is they'll give you these little submissions and hints about what sort of thing is going on. Werewolf Korra, 41 months of power. Thank you. Cookie, beloved character from A Country Practice. Long running for a long time. Australian, it's not a sitcom, it was a TV drama. A Country Practice. Good stuff. Cookie and Bob Hatfield always getting into mischief. So the Unholy Challenge is actually an artifact, which our warrior here, our leader, can't use. He can use orbs and he can use staffs and scrolls. All right, he's got a scroll here. Actually, we didn't give him all the equipment. Mind Ward scroll. Right, so but that's temporary. Artifacts. The warrior leader starts with the ability to use artifacts, and they're very useful. Let's load up on all the stuff. Let's take it with us. Let's get all the potions in the city and take them with us. Now we have enough stuff to build a thing. We should build the guild and get a thief. Because we're going to want to explore this ruin before we go running into it face first. Look at these goblins with the folly of having their archer in the front row. We can't even kill him in one hit with our fighter, actually, so all hardly matters. Leadership every time. Yeah, you have to do it. You can learn the other stuff. In these, like, if you're in the sagas, like the long campaigns, it's easier to decide what to do. But with this, you don't always know what you're going to find in these quests. So you can get like artifacts and never find an artifact. But there's an artifact on the table. We've been warned of it. Look at our sorcerer there. He's already on low health. I don't think he has much either. 57 of 75. Let's just go back in and wait another turn. We'll wait a turn inside our palace here. See, we've got our health back. Warrior is the easiest lord to play as, I find, because you get automatic health regeneration for all of your units. They'll just regenerate naturally over time. Let's see if we can win this fight. I don't know the initiative values of everything involved. We'll have a look at it. Alright, so we have the advantage. The fighter, don't worry about him. 75 on the warlock. That has 90. What's their initiative? 20. We can beat that. There is a variance. Like if you've got the same initiative as an opponent. So these fellows have 50. It's like technically, it makes some sort of roll. So when you actually like comes to your turn, you'll either be 5 lower or 5 higher. That's the range. It can be up to 5 lower or up to 5 higher than the listed thing. So it could technically be 55 or 45. It's like chance based. I don't know. We should strike the ghosts aren't going to survive all this unless our sorcerers miss crucially. We should still weaken the ghosts as a priority if we can. Oh, look at that. Managed to hit everybody. Arriba. Oh, the warlock. Now that was well done. Now someone's getting paralyzed. It's the sorcerer. God, yeah. Big experience. We're going to have to build... What should we build first? Who's going to level up first? Probably the cultist. If we build whatever levels the cultist into a sorcerer, we can have 2 sorcerers. Actually, this sorcerer is loose. Like... Can we... Let me have a look. I don't remember exactly how this goes. Like, if I build the Palace of Vice, I could have a witch and a sorcerer, because we've already got the sorcerer. Should we have a... We could probably get away with that. Jackpot! Jackpot! Tell me about it. That's the business. Love could be so strong. Zenith Dante, thank you for those gift subs. Very generous. Can you pop present within that list there? Neon today as well. Nuralung. Ah, yes. The mysterious... not too mysterious. Lord BBH. The well-fabled Lord BBH, I should say. A well-known and legendary figure. And Colosomai. Thank you. Made me talk like a surfer. I talk as I choose at all times. That's from Force Plus 4. And the band that plays in Force Plus 4 is called Life USA, I think, from memory. Like, yeah, I'm putting on a voice right now. My natural voice is, whoa. No, I'm fine today. My Malibu voice is what it is. I'm going to have witches, I think, just so that we can see the polymorph. We already know what fire and brimstone looks like. The Palace of Vice. So this sort of implies something interesting. As I said earlier, like here they become a sorcerer. Here it's like they cast off their skull mask and they were this witch all along with new powers. Right? Because it's ambiguous what's underneath the cultist shawl. And apparently here it's a witch. Yeah, quite common for many cases like that. Malibu never touched a surfboard in his life. Ye gods, how can this be, Malibu? What do you mean? How can this be? The betrayal, the betrayal. Oh, we can research the magic for the Hellhound as well. Incantare Hell. Let's get the real deal. We don't want any of that illusion. We can cast this now. It's a summon, so it'll only last a little bit. There's a bloody ogre right here. That is a massive problem for this level of adventure. Couple of brewsties? Couple of brewskis? Holding on to a beautiful babe. And I'm fine today. I'm a child of Mother Nature, what you expect? Malibu is so good. He's the best and most charismatic of the American gladiators. Oh. I am reminded. I need that thief. What do the infernal thieves say? They look very similar to the other thieves, except for the dwarf and the elf ones, who look completely different. The art for the elf units also is not quite the same style as the rest of the units. The elves are in a whole other expansion.
Fiat volutis.
Oh, he's got mysterious utterances here. Look, we had 1 square of boat travel. Here, explore this ruin, please. Visit the ruin. What's in there? Look at this. This is a big threat. There's a wyvern in there. But no doubt a great treasure. A wyvern and 2 ghosts. A wyvern, if we could survive that, which is possible. In fact, the ghosts will die automatically. We have no choice about what we target. Yeah, wyverns are dragons that have died and have been brought back to life, and they breathe horrible poisonous gas. Now you get in town to heal your men. Oh god, misclick. Get in town. There we go. See, now he's living large. Him and his forces are living large. The cultist is going to be a witch eventually. We've got a thief there. We could summon a hellhound and scout. We could actually summon a hellhound, I think, and send it into the ruin to maybe weaken the... We'll do that next turn. You're welcome. You're welcome, the bard. Alright, let's scout around with our thief a little bit. No, it's going to be a very little bit. I want to see what's out on our little peninsula here. There's a couple of banners I can see. Apparently I'm just playing the scenario. I was going to go to the a campaign, but we'll have a look. We haven't got all of our health back yet. I could research more magic though. Reduced by 50 the armor. Very few things have armor. I'm guessing this would be like the most direct use. It wouldn't be against undead if we find some of those. Aren't some of the undead immune to mind? Because they're mindless. The bearded half. I'm actually 2 halflings. 2 halflings in a human disguise, maybe. Yeah, diddly-dee potatoes. Fire damage is more thematic. Research... Oh, by the way, my research costs are very low because I'm the Sorcerer Lord. And I can cast each spell twice, which is a big advantage. Whew. What was I doing? We'll wait in town again. Huge event. We could probably should have used those potions. The game furnishes you with some potions at the start, and they really are there to be used. Uh-oh. There's the wolves. That gives me an idea. I shouldn't go to that ruin yet. I should go and fight these wolves and level up off them. And get my witch. Intercognis. And probably a berserker as well. 49 of 95. So we can build the unholy portal. There we are. Where more demons will come forth and possess people.
Invocare ignis.
That's only 1 wolf, but we'll still fight.
Dies Nestra.
Still got his hit in, didn't he? Bloody wolf. Should have pushed defensive. Beware the wolf. Like, my man can't kill it, so I'll just minimize the damage he takes. Which is a tactic that falls by the wayside very strongly later on. There we are. It's a hardy wolf. The wolves are very dangerous. Look at this. Look at all the orcs and guff around here. Like, who's living on the sea here? There's an orc. And there's some mortal men. There's some imperial fortification here. There's a town that we can take. There's a titan and 2 squires protecting it. They're not in the town. They still benefit from the armor, though. And that is death mana. There, these haunted bones. It's a little bit hard. One of the flaws of the game, well, I'd say it's a flaw, is that it can be quite difficult to maneuver your, like, figures around enemy positions, because they've got, like, a threat range. And if you go into it, you can get attacked. Sometimes they'll chase you. And it's not always clear exactly what they're going to do.
Sanctuary Demio.
So it wouldn't be that bad an idea to use a potion on our man to expedite these affairs here against the wolves. This battle should carry us to a level up, though. Oh, the initiative of the wolf. See the defensive wolf in the back? Oh, what a disappointment. Oh, miss. Good. So we're only doing half damage to that wolf in the back, which is defending. And it's doing that because it can't attack, so it has virtually no choice. How much health have you got? 32. Ooh, you better defend. One more hit and he's gone, that fellow. Now we need this archdevil to not miss. There we go. Oi! Ah, look at the witch. There she is. Witches dwell in the depths of forests. If bothered, they have been known to retaliate by transforming the hated interlopers. So she was a witch all along. This normally isn't possible, by the way, having a sorcerer and a witch. This is like a unique feature. Because we started with a sorcerer living in the town, we could have him. The downside is he won't ever advance, because we can never build the buildings that will make him improve. That's the downside to this. So it might behoove us, actually, to just replace him with the second witch. Do you need a second witch? I don't think so. So I think when we get to the level where you get leadership, it would probably be better off to install one of the tall monsters. One of the double wide goons, like something like that. One of the devils, actually, probably more like. That might be a strategy going forward. Oh, that's my thief. I want to go up here so I can explore out this way. What's the dimensions of the land? Oh no, it extends up here. I thought we were in the top corner. We're not. We're in the bottom corner. Bottom meaning like it's the eastmost. This way. You don't think we should have tall monsters, Delta T? Keep the sorcerer? Well, we'll keep him if he doesn't die. I kind of want to scout that out a little bit better. But we're ready to do this part anyway. You kind of want to see the demons in action. But you're right, the sorcerer... The sorcerer and another berserker would be pretty good. It's not just about what's what would be most effective. It's about wanting to see them and see their battle sprites and things like that. Can we get up there this turn? Not quite. That's where we're heading. I want whatever treasure is in there.
Magister.
Magister. Look at this place. Look at these lawful men. That's a lone thug. A lot of experience down here we could collect. A mercenary. I've never meddled with the mercenaries before. The devil line we'd never get through because we're only on a tiny map, aren't we? Like we're on a little, relatively small... As a troll! Once we have like a couple of big time berserkers, anything we can kill in a thing. Actually, we've got the witch who might be able to transform all of these and really lower their potential threat. Don't neglect the magic. It's hard for me to remember to do everything that I can do in a single sweep. I got 400. I can... Reduces by damage. Reduces initiative would be strong. But we can't cast this into ruins. Like, things that are inside cities and the like can't be struck by magic. Ignis Khan. The Beliar would be keen. Now, here's this. Alright, now we're going in there this turn, see? So I wonder if I can send my Hellhound in there. I can't guarantee that I've ever seen a Hellhound. I guess... Oh, no, I haven't. I've never seen that before. Hellhound. Oh, it's double wide and everything. I wonder if its initiative is sufficient to get some moves in here. It is. It's got the initiative, actually. It's a Cerberus. Or a Cerberus, if you prefer. This is the Wyvern here. Sorcerers resurrect lifeless dragons, creating Wyverns to fight in their undead armies. And these are a couple of ghosts. Let's see what he does. Does 20 damage, hits everything. 80%, very low damage, but this is pretty good for a first level thing. He's got very high initiative. Let's see. Boy. Oh, the Wyvern. Oh, she missed. The other one missed. Hey! Now, we don't want him to actually succeed any further because we want the experience for killing the ghosts. As he's paralyzed. And his turn is automatically break paralyze. And if this keeps up, he'll just lose. And maybe the monsters we're fighting will level up, so this could be like a Pyrrhic victory here. That's the kind of Hellhound you need Hercules to deal with. He's worth 30 experience to the enemy. That's the negative side of the summons, is that they level up the opponent. Now let's get in there and get a result. Might be able to see how Witchy Poo do stuff. They're not immune to mind, are they? The Berserker. Look at him with his 2 axes. This game is very fond of backhanding weapons like this, actually. It's a little bit mysterious. Yeah, you don't want to overdo the summons. They're not that hard to kill. They're good for scouting and just probing the enemy and weakening them a little bit. Alright, Witch, let's see what you can do. She's got, what, 80% chance of this working. Oh! Bloody Witch! She's a little bit missy. Oh, our main man leveled up. That's good. Now, frustratingly, a potion of invulnerability. 50% less damage from attacks for 1 day. That'd be very useful in getting rid of that troll. Oh, there's giant spider right beyond it. This is an absolutely chaotic wasteland up here. This is the kind of faction that Kane would be in. Wagner's Kane, which he kind of was in certain stories. So that's been looted. The Mauritius Sanitarium has been looted. It's full of ghosts and a giant devilish worm. There's a whole implied story there. What's the Chaos Waste down here too? This is all Chaos Waste. It's all chaos from top to bottom. Go over here, thief. There comes a time, thief. Okay, we've got some excess money. I don't think we need a second big warrior or anything. So let's plan ahead for our next move. Should we get the Temple of Grief so we can build some... We've got a fiend just sitting in the... No, we've got a gargoyle sitting in the thing, sorry. Adjacent units, slash and poison. The fiend. We could build that. We've got 900 glod, but... What about Anti-Paladin? Maybe we should get ready for this. Because when our Berserker gets to 550 experience, there's no, I didn't do that. I should do that actually, because it's such a like the levels in this game when you see the map fully revealed, they're so rich. Like it's got all these beautiful like detail. You can just imagine what it's like to be like a person down here. And there's these great mountains, and over here is like the town of such and such, and here's a big city, which probably wouldn't be a big demon city in a D&D campaign, but you never know. You never know. We're on a little peninsula here. Our landscape can't cross water, so at some point we're going to have to send a baroness out into the world, or capture this town. And when we control a town, it's actually our next job, is go down here and capture the town. Our landscape will emanate from that. I actually like the infernal landscape the least, but thematically it's appropriate. Look at the lava bubbling up from the features here. This is on fire. These are probably sites of great pilgrimage for the cult members that work for me. It's a problem because you can hardly see, even with the banners on, like, it's hard to tell that I've got a thief there. You know? Have we done everything? Oh, we were going to build something. We're just going to get ourselves ready for later advancements by spending the money now instead of being pressed to do it later. Build. The Tower of Souls. Look at that. I really love how the cities build up in this game, and others like it. The Heroes games are also satisfying like this. There was one of them, it might even be Disciples 3, where the city screen is really unsatisfying and terrible. And whenever you have a building, it's almost has its own screen, and you never see the whole thing at once, and they're all isolated, and you don't get that feeling of a place, you know, which you get with this. And it's designed super good in that there's only one main city, and you don't have multiple big cities that you have to worry about and manage, which is the downfall of me in games like Civilization. I know this isn't a Civilization style game, but is that they get too big, and I guess that's part of the challenge of the game, but they get too big for me to manage, you know. In any case, what do we have here? We know there's an artifact on offer. Pathfinding is also pretty good. Banner, they're all good if you can get the stuff, right? So you've got to. We know there's an artifact somewhere, so I'm going to choose artifact for our man here, and then we're going to go down here. He already flies, so he's unimpeded, well, mostly unimpeded by terrain. They don't get the maximum speed. You see, they've got a move value here of 21. And whenever you go across land, whatever you're going across, like, changes how many points it costs to move per flag, I think is the way to calculate it. You notice when you click somewhere to go, it leaves a trail of flags. Well, depending on what land the flag is on, that'll change your movement rate. It's easier to show with the thief. Alright, because he'll always, whenever you click to go somewhere, it always tries to calculate the lowest cost route. Like if he's going across plains, it's 2. As soon as he's in the water, each flag that's in the water is 6 movement points, so you lose a lot. Right? The fastest you can go, there isn't one on screen, but there are roads. If there's a road, it only costs 1 point per flag, and you can go a long way on a road. Forests slow you down, but flyers are always 2 points per flag, no matter what's under. So they don't get benefit of road, but they get to ignore all the other unpleasant things. So that's good for them. Well met, Cammy.
Magister.
Now, with that in mind, it'd be too hard to steer my thief through all of that, but maybe we can go up here. We might be able to go around the ogre and just see what's up there. And we'll come back and we'll deal with the ogre. Actually, we can probably deal with the ogre now if we get lucky with our witch. That's a gamble we could take. I forget how much damage ogres do. It's like 120, I think. How many rounds? Oh, we're kind of on low health. We actually probably should just should park in the city for a couple of turns. Yeah, it's a greatly designed game. Strategy first, find company. Right? The fellow, what's his name? Danny Ballinger, I think it was, who designed this game. It was really good, and it's an excellent variant on the Heroes of Might and Magic model of game as well. We can test how much he hits by sending a monster in. I'll show you the other demon that we can summon, which is the Beliar. Beliar, perversion of Belial. There's a lot of like names for things that are almost one thing that we already know from our world, you know. There he is. He's a giant demon with 200 health. The ogre's got 300, so he does 130 damage. Yeah, that's big. 130. But very low initiative, so you can get all your stuff in quick. And there's a good chance that the witch will actually be able to beat him to the trigger and hit him and turn him into an imp. Hopefully, if that's how that works. The huge Beliar demon skewers opponents with its humongous horns. He does 65 damage, which is way less than the ogre. Demons have no need to fear death, for they cannot die, for they were never born. So we can weaken the ogre a great deal, which is a tremendous advantage. That's good use of the Beliar there, because the ogre's way off advancing. I could feed him many Beliars. He could defeat them all, and he won't be in any danger of getting any stronger. What's my army look like? We're all a little bit shaken. I'll rest for a turn, and the ogre should heal a bit. Not very much, though, if he did it all. The important thing is that my berserker has enough health to withstand one attack from the ogre, and he'll be worth a lot of experience to the ogre. Let's see what happens. We should get our attacks in first. Then we'll be able to finish him off if no one messes up. Once again, the witch has denied the glory of standing center stage. She doesn't get to do her thing. Her time will come. It's very annoying, actually. Should have been a warrior lord, so that we could get healing on the run. It's just not an option. Now, let's see if I was right. If I can... See, when you want to do a precise move, there might be a waypoint thing. You want to, like, do it slowly and make sure... I can't see my flags popping up from behind the mountain there. You want to do it slowly and make sure you're not running into... So, like, if I move here, even though it seems far away from where I clicked, you're in danger because the flag is red, right? And this is all... you can move into these woods. There's the only thing that's impassable is like the mountains. Here's some mountain clan territory up here. The Orc Castle. That's probably going to have an Orc King in it. There's an ogre, a troll, an Orc champion. He is guarding the pass here, and he's a big threat. Orc champions are serious. Control does that. I thought there was one, but I couldn't remember what it was. I could have picked up that treasure on the way past as well, but it's just as good as not being picked up, I suppose. Could have picked it up and ferried it back. There's a graveyard, cemetery. Like, all the little features of terrain that you see all have names, and And the Berthos ruin, like, it doesn't come up for mountains, but it'll come up for, like, incidental, like the cemetery, for example, will be noted as a cemetery. Have we done all of our stuff? I'm going to try conquering down here. I think we can handle that fairly easily. The threat of this scenario is the Empire accomplishing its goals first, so I might be making a mistake doing this busy work down here. You think we can take that Titan? We probably can.
Sinistra.
I don't know about the 2 squires, though. Wolf, Titan has big initiative. Alright. He's got 50 health left after all that. My plan is to transform the Titan into a thing. But even the leftover damage isn't going to save him. They do 25. Alright. So we can probably kill one with our magic damage. Alright, now we want to turn her into a... so this has got an 80% chance of working. There, look, she turned into an imp. Whoa, they turned into a big imp! That's a huge surprise! I didn't know that would happen. She's still going to be super dangerous? I guess she is. Alright. 25 and 30. I don't know, man. We can sort of survive. It's a fat imp. Good work, witch. Imp servants of the higher infernal planes. These creatures are used by demons to disrupt order in the realm. I didn't expect this at all. Oh dear. It's got 50 initiative as well. You be defensive. We'll see if we can get him to survive this. Bloody fat imp falls backwards. Oh dear. That is oaf. No, I should have killed the squire. The squire won't live very long. Now we've got to deal with this fat imp. Turn it into a smaller imp, witch. The witch won't do anything. Did the witch help? Yes, I think so, because this only does 30 damage. Wait, what does the Titan do? It's got 10 armor because it's in town. That's not a feature of the thing. How much health have we got left? With luck, we can get through this with our berserker intact. Now, witch can't do anything to the imp. It's already transformed. So that's a big nothing. He does 50 damage. So with luck, he'll survive. Not to be. That's alright. We'll get him back. Oh, I should have actually attacked with him in order to guarantee nobody else getting hit. Didn't think of that. My tactical skills aren't as good. Yes, much better. Like, the Titan normally does 60. So the polymorph isn't improved, and it doesn't wear off, which is really interesting to me. I didn't expect that at all. Don't worry about the berserker. Like, you can expect, the chalice is ours! Blood will taste all the sweeter from its golden rim. There it is. The unholy chalice is a very important and powerful artifact. The leader equipped with this item does 15% more damage in battle. Bing. So we had to take... no, it's acceptable. You expect... It's only really a loss if the whole party is wiped out. If it's not fully wiped out, you can bring them back. Alright? 4 gold if you have the wit to build the temple, which I actually haven't had. Like, if we build the temple, which is oddly horn-shaped down here. Yeah, look at that. There's the temple. Which means that for a big pile of money, we can actually heal. This is the suffering of not playing as the warrior lord, is that you have to pay, like, huge sums of money to heal your men. But we'll stay here for a turn. It actually might behoove us to level up the town a little bit. Now there's a miscellaneous thug just living next door, and there's some squires down there that we can deal with. A mercenary camp which I've never engaged with. There's a big cemetery here, and look at this mountain. This is a special mountain because it's like a water feature. Something about this game, the way the terrain works out, looks like Games Workshop, or reminds me of Games Workshop, like Battlefield model terrain and how it was arranged around the miniatures, which we saw a little bit of last stream, didn't we, in our Vampire Counts army book flip through sort of thing that we had there. The Knights Dark Masters flip through it was really. Now what's that thief of mine doing? Magister. We're not the guild master, so we can't do all the fun stuff that the thief can do. Guild master's probably the least wieldy of the three types of lord. Oh, it's a valuable ruby, which we can trade for big money at a salesman, if we can find a salesman. I think there's one down here somewhere. This one. That's a trader. Everything I possess is for sale. I don't think we can get near it, though. Our main mission now is going to be... it's going to be... Well, the Guildmaster... The thing about the Guildmaster is the thief can do all these different things, but they've all got failure chance. So, a lot of the time, if you're unlucky, you can spend a lot of money on thieves and they'll all just get executed because you'll make the attempts to do interesting things and you just won't be all that lucky. And they all, well, the other advantage of the Guildmaster is that it costs them very little to upgrade. It's halved. Like the cost to upgrade towns will be halved. Like to be level 3 this city, which increases the amount of health regenerated when you stay there, and the armor bonus of units that are inside it. It's worth doing, but if for a normal lord it's quite expensive. Like that would have been 500 gold for me, but it was... If I was the... I've got it wrong. I'm thinking like I am the guild. It would have been way cheaper if I was the guild master. Right? The guild master lord could have done that for much cheaper. And their thieves are better. I might just stay here for another turn, actually. Otherwise I'll be in and out. The thug, he's not a... We might... Well, he probably would kill the berserker if I... And I don't know if I want to waste all my Healy brew until I'm like out in the wilderness and I can't get back to town. Open world regen is so good. 5th level spells are probably really good, but they're really very expensive. Like, you've got to have a lot of expansion to get all the resources. Now, that does happen, basically without you even really trying. Because... your land will keep expanding, and it will expand into the fog of war, and you'll claim resources you don't even know are there a lot of the time. Like, you'll suddenly just be making way more money because your land has expanded out to a gold mine that's out here somewhere, and you haven't even been there yet. But you control it, so you've got all the money. End of turn. But you can see now, since we took over this town, this is starting to turn into like the infernal realm here. Everything's being burned. Our people we control are running roughshod over the realm. Let's see if we can get away with this. See if our berserker will redeem himself in battle. No, he does basically instantly. Look at that. Good, no match. Straight back into town. This is the edge of the map here because I can't go any further than that direction. There's a lot of yahoos hanging around though. Oh, there's a ghost at play. What is she doing? Okay, now we've healed enough. So it'll be worth healing my men. Before I forget, it might be worth putting Healy potions in my hands here, which means I can use them in battle. which may have strategic... It doesn't come up very much in my experience. But I'm not very experienced with this game, I suppose. Oh, these squires.
Yes, Esther.
Let's bring them down. This might be a time to make a defensive move. Right, now we can turn him into a non-fat imp. There, look! Non-fat imp. Tail whip. 20 damage. Almost as much damage as the fat imp, actually. Which is a bit of a fat chocobo kind of thing. Oh, Bethruzen, plenty. Oh, I see. That's kind of interesting. Ah, the Berserker. I expected a result, the Berserker. Well, the imp has a different death animation and everything. The Berserker's gravely wounded after all that, still. It's very interesting that that polymorph is permanent. I thought it would depolymorph at the end of the turn, but that's just not how it works. That said, like, hang on a minute. It would remove all the special abilities. The imp is like a melee thing. What am I doing here? I wanted to look at the witches. Her initiative doesn't increase at all either. I wonder if she has like a different thing. When you upgrade the hag, I wonder if she has a different thing that they turn them into. This is really dangerous. Being able to polymorph the entire army if you have a succubus. Oh, so it doesn't last forever. 3 to 5 turns is practically a whole battle. Battles tend to be pretty damn quick. I'm a bit more free-handed with my potions than... Well, you got to go through it, and I want to see what a sprite looks like. I'm going to build it just in case... Oh, it builds directly on top. Look at that crooked tower. Now what's going on over here? Our Berserker's going to take forever to heal. Ugh. Another consequence of bureaucracy in play. If we had a warrior lord, we'd be rolling over the land. This ghost that was summoned, there must have been more to that. That looked like it was summoned, though.
Sanctuary Demio.
What is your health now, Berserker? Can we afford to heal him so that he can go and die respectably in the... We're going through a lot of money here.
Yes, Esther.
He does 50 damage, so we can delete some enemy units straight off. Who cares about the damage?
Hulka.
Oh, the peasant's getting hits in. The imp. How undignified. Dying as an imp. Oh, it's hard to see exactly. I thought there was another man there. That's me. That's my flag. The spearman's a threat. I don't know if he's a threat enough to the Berserker at 122 health. Not with a polymorph, he's not. I'm going to risk this. The true decision would be, would you, in a scenario such, well, it's hardly matters here. He does 50 damage. Preventing the damage is better than preventing a heal. But polymorphing a healer would be a real, especially with higher initiative, because the witch has got 20 and healers have 10. See, that's the kind of move you'd make with your witches with a hag, of which you only want one, because they upgrade into succubuses, and you'll. In a normal game where we didn't have the fortune of having a sorcerer in the city to start with, you'd have a whole other arrangement going on here. You probably only want one of the witchies. Now, excuse me. I've got to duck away again. I won't be long. Up. Krakow. Inertial guidance.
Deus Noctis Exorio.
I've returned. Pardon me. We're not going to get through this scenario even in the time we've got left, actually. Look, we've done so little, and we're already 2/3 of the way through the stream. Almost. Let's be a little bit more cavalier. Oh, I should have done that after the turn, I suppose. There, I did think of something. Maybe... So we've got the witch. She transforms things. And if we upgrade to the hag... I had a thought. It was just something that might be true. Might be true or untrue. Transform enemies into anything they desire. So I doubt she'd desire a fat imp. Maybe she doesn't get fat imps from large enemies. Maybe she turns them into actual little imps. Or maybe something else. I just had some sweetie. I needed a sweetie. I had a small Mars bar. One of those tiny ones you get sometimes. And it was nice. We haven't even seen the enemy yet. Oh, an orc and his goblin men.
Yes,
There's
Nestor.
been crossbreeding orcs with goblin men. Yeah! Cut him down. That was gold. The orc completely avoided all damage there. Both of the goblins burned in the inferno. Look at that transformation. Now he's a pathetic imp. Retains his hit points, though, interestingly enough. I'm into the witch. I think she's pretty good. Witchy poo favorable. I think if I didn't have a sorcerer with me, I'd be tempted to have my man. I'd probably want a warrior lord, actually, and a witch, and probably a devil, and eventually like 2 devils, warrior in front, and a witch in like the center back position. That'd be pretty interesting. Oh, a cross there. That's something that was missing from that vampire game, was crosses. There was like religious symbols, but vampires separated from like Christianity aren't as interesting immediately. They lose something. I know there's lots of different kinds of vampires, but the ones we're talking about, Dracula's, they lose something. It's not as good if it doesn't have like the Christian lore bolted with it. Now, we only took a little bit of damage. What are we up against here? An orc champion? Now, my berserker, do you think he's able to weather the... What's an orc champion do? I think it's like, if he polymorphs, we'd be fine. But he's got lots of health. It's dicey, but that's what life is for. Alright, hit berserker. He's got 220. He does 80. Alright. Yeah, all the power. See, that's people taken in by the temptation of the vampire. That's how the devil works. Right? People who don't know their lore. Right? This is how the devil gets you. He's the father of lies. Right? But he doesn't lie to you. The thing the devil does is he lets you believe your own misapprehensions. Your own delusions. So you think you're going to be a vampire and have this romantic eternal life. But what you actually get is eternal existence, which isn't life, in a state of complete privation, and all you feel is the desperate hunger to be a parasite. That's the only way that you can exist. You don't get eternal life, you get unlife, right? You get the opposite. You get a life, an existence bereft of life. That's why vampirism is a curse. You see, that's what it is. That's why it's a terrible deal, but you get tricked into it, and you say yes to the romantic idea, and oh yes, because you fear death, and you don't believe in the promise of eternal life, which is why the cross is a powerful symbol, right? Because it's the symbol of Christ's triumph over death. It's not just the death; it's the resurrection, and that's what the vampire cannot stand. It reminds them of the terrible price they've paid for nothing, basically. For an existence that is worse than death. Unlife. Worse than death. That's powerful lore. Right? That's good. And I think a lot of fictional vampires are missing that. You know, it misses that substance, which can only come from, like, historical and the mythos that emerges from historical lore and folklore piled on top of each other with layers of mysticism and religion, and built up over actual centuries into something that you can really take a hold of. And it's got all this, you don't have to build up all of its layers of meaning from whole cloth like some writers like to try to do, and it gives it so much more power right, than a writer who takes the idea of a vampire and just has it customized to what they would want the most if they were a vampire. So they tend to shave off all the weaknesses and the unpleasantness, and they leave only the most positive and romantic, and they're misunderstood, but they live forever, and they're lonely, but they have these huge families that they live with. It's so weird sometimes that, it's a whole other thing. Do you think that we should bet on maybe defending first with our man here in the hopes of preservation, trusting that the witch will come through for us? Or should we attack and get our 50 damage early? Berserkers attack! That's what they do. Berserkers attack. We didn't even talk about this stuff when we looked at all the Dracula movies, right? It didn't really come up, but like, I don't know why it wouldn't come up, or maybe I just forgot about it. Alright, he gets his damage in, but now our witchy poo here, our witch. Yes, good. That's what we wanted. Now he does a feeble 20 damage and we have no problem. Yeah, he has armor. Well, he used to. He used to have armor, but he got polymorphed. I would recommend, if you're interested in this sort of thing, there's all sorts of things you can read about, not just vampires, but this sort of lore. I would actually recommend King James's Demonology, which is a dialogue. It's a semi-fiction, I'll say it was certainly semi-fictional to King James. Dialogue between two men talking about the ways of devils and the witches and that sort of thing. And it's absolutely fascinating. If you're someone who doesn't get put off by the old English style of speech, it's a fascinating read, but from like a scholarly standpoint and from an entertainment one. If you can get past that sort of hurdle. I know some people struggle with that kind of hurdle. Now, King James was the witchman. Well, you know what I mean. It's not old English as in, it's old, it's English, but it's in the olden, I forget the, look, it's good stuff. There's at least one good dramatization of the demonology of King. There's also News from Scotland, which is usually bundled with it, and all that other sort of thing. King James, an important historical figure. Now, I've never been to the Mercenary before. I've never used them. I don't know what they offer. I looked into the Mercenary once or twice, and I think all that's in there is thugs and master thugs, which is not trivial. Master thugs especially are very dangerous. What's going on in town? I'm putting a possessed... No. I can't have a fiend. I'm going to install a gargoyle in town to dissuade anyone there, and probably suppress the populace as well. You imagine being like living in a town like that with like this gargoyle in the center of town looking over everybody. It is a statue. It is a statue, right? But they know deep down that it's more than a statue. It's an art installation. That's the one advantage of modern art, is that very little modern art installations in town look like they could come alive and kill you if they were so enchanted, you know what I mean? They don't seem like they'd be much of a threat. There's an ogre there that we could go and challenge as well at some point. There's an ogre there. There's something going on over here. I don't know what's going on over here. Uh-oh. There's the first whispers of the Empire moving about. What are they doing? They've got a ranger there doing his business. One thing we've neglected is... well, I'm doing it now. One thing I've kind of neglected is scouting with the summoned units. So I've got a hellhound here. He's on the barge being delivered to the shore. Here is the Imperial capital, Timoria. with a thief out the front of it. My Hellhound could probably destroy that thief. Actually, no, he probably can't. Reason being his damage is very low. The thief can probably take it, actually. Yeah. Oh! The fortunes of initiative went my way there for a second or two. Thieves never gain any experience. They start at level 1, that's the maximum. They're functional. Even though they're technically a leader, they never lead anything. Good work, the thief! My sympathies are actually with the Empire army rather than the demonic one. Even though it's interesting to look at the demonic army. It's not very heroic fantasy, is it, though? There's a dragon down there. I don't know if there's like a secret pass through the mountains. Yeah, look, you can get through here. This sort of thing is something that Disciples 2 does sometimes, where it'll look like it's like completely impassable land, but there's a... So we could have all along brought our thief down here with his emerald and sold it at the merchant. Zombies. There's an ambiguous sort of scenario here where zombies... Oh, this is one of the objective towns. Zombies can be polymorphed into imps, and does that count as resurrecting them, or... Like, they're being turned into demons, and are demons alive? These are the questions that are beyond theology. I think I'll still leave my thief there. Like, it might be worth bringing him down, but considering the movement cost, it's probably also worth just bringing a whole second thief. I'll bring him down. Now, what's going on in my main army here? Our Berserker looks a little worse for wear. The town's got Nigosh with his forces. Out of those, I'd probably polymorph the Warlock or Nigosh himself. There's a Spectre, ghouls. Does Raze kill? Yeah, like it's... Oh, this dragon is next to a dragon statue! I wonder if there's something going on where, should we heal our Berserker with a potion? We're kind of exposed here. There's a lot of stuff going on. I guess nothing here is going to move, but didn't this move? It's not much left of it now, anyway. Oh, it certainly is moving. There's just the mere fighter left. Bah! Berserker attack. God. Luna. Transform. And cut down. We're a long way from leveling up, too. That's just the nature of the game. It is the way of things. That's zombie. Zombie in this world is not a trivial matter. A zombie's quite a dangerous opponent in this world. And that ruin is unexplored. It's definitely probably worth healing our man. But we've got like the big healy. And we've only got like 2 medium heals. What does the merchant have? What does it cost? 150 gold and 300 gold for the large ones. Well, in the field, that's pretty good. Fire warding, potion of might, potion of celerity. Raises by 60% the initiative of the target unit for 1 day. Most of the time, the initiative buffs sort of guarantee that you'll win when your initiative is the same as the enemy. You rarely will a unit with a certain amount of initiative, say 20, overtake another unit with 50. Like, even if 60%, that's the highest buff to initiative I've seen, is not going to make her go before a warrior. Right? But she will outpace anything else with 20. With an initiative buff. Water warding, earth warding. There's never any life warding because that's the sacred... oh, look at this. The 200 hit point ointment. I'll take that. And I'll use it immediately. In furtherance of my goals. Ghost. What's the Ghost's initiative? See, this is going to be a face-off between our Witch and the Ghost. Initiative-wise, because they're both 20. Or the Ghost will be dead before then, so it's not going to be a face-off at all. Never mind. Yeah, steal it with thieves. That's more reliable if you're the guild master. Because if you fail as a thief, you've just paid 200 gold of thief to, for nothing. Just to get them executed. And if it happens again, you've paid 400 gold for nothing. I guess the value is ameliorated by what else you've done with your thief up to that point. I don't know about going in there without big health. My thief is on his way. Actually, it bears remembering, like, you can't palm off items onto another character. You've got to drop them in the environment, like you're doing a secret trade. You've got to throw it down, and then the other character has to pick it up.
Dare not.
And then we'll sell it on our next turn. This is an important town, so we need it.
Magister. Sanctuary Demio.
Now we can sell that valuable. What's he buying it for? 250. That's good. That's quite worth buying another portable Healy with. Oh yeah. That will ensure full health for whatever these confrontations are going to amount to over here.
Magister.
Oh, what bloody hell. That was accidental. Never mind. We could probably go and fight that Orc Champion for big coin as well. There's no backsies. I can't go undo move, unfortunately. Because my man was here. It's blocking the path, so it auto-pathed all the way around.
Dare not.
Let's just immediately dare the city. The hell with it. Oh, I didn't heal my Berserker. That's not as big a deal as you might think. Because we have our Healy Wheelie. What have I got? 118 hit points. What are we going to take here? 30, 25, and a paralysis on behalf of somebody. Now, should I heal my Berserker? What's his health? 50. And he's going to take 30, 10, and 25, less the polymorph. The Ghost might polymorph the Witch. Or I could fully heal my Berserker from here, instead of doing 35 plus 5 damage. Now, 35 plus 5 is better. Get rid of the Ghost straight off. And then we can... What's he do? 30? What do you do? 10? He does 10. That seems low, but Nosferats get very good. They also drain life. Cut him down. Sorcerer's looking a little worse for wear there. Alright, now the city's not taken because there's still a fighter and a zombie, which is a tall order. Now neither of those can hit any of our back line, so it's not really worth sweating about. They can really hurt our Berserker, so it might be worth healing him all the way. I don't know. Or I could have used this invulnerability potion, but I sense that will become more useful later. That's a next turn problem. We need our thief to come back. I think every faction in this game has got something really interesting going for it. You know, they're all good. I really love the elves, actually. I think they're a top quality, well-designed faction. The game teases you a little bit by not giving you leadership on your first character. On your first level up, I mean, with your hero. You've got to wait until you can get another warrior. So you've got all this time to play the game and think, what on earth am I going to do when I can fill the entire battlefield with 6 characters, including my hero? I think, on balance, I think that having the warrior heroes also allow for the most interesting battle arrangement. If you have, like, not the sorcerer, you've got a warrior up here, and then you can have a more interesting backline, or like 2 devils and a witch, as I kind of want to have. That'd be like the more interesting infernal arrangement for me, I think. This scenario is definitely not going to be finished by the time we run out of stream time. You seek Mortis's wrath? No, I seek to deliver you to your damnation. The single-mindedness of the demons. Oh, there's a treasure back there. No, we'll just hang out in town for a while. What's the city level here? 250 it'll cost. That would have cost 175 if we were the guild master. This game's got fantastic lore. It doesn't overblow itself, and it's well written and considered.
Fiat volutus.
Well, I haven't been researching spells either. By the way, we've got 500 like death mana because we occupied this little area, and that had some death mana on it. Now it's all infernal land, and we're benefiting from that. Reduces by 15% the damage of the enchanted units. That's pretty good. So's this. This would technically work out to 60 damage if we could do it. I don't know if I cast this twice, which I have the luxury of doing. I don't know if it will stack on itself. Something tells me that they don't. But you can do the damage twice in a row. By the way, these spells are very powerful. You cast them on stacks of enemies, right? That's a stack of enemies. It's got four enemies in it. So you get your Ignis Khan and you go, ha. And they're all damaged. All of them. Right? They're all damaged. So that's the damage spells in the world are very powerful. And you can cast them anywhere you can see. Anything that's not in the fog of war can be struck by magic. And you can use it to completely delete whole groups. The bad side of that is that if you do that, you don't get like the experience for your warriors for doing so. Like if I can cast that spell again immediately because I'm a mage lord in this scenario, but doing so would kill the ghost, and we wouldn't get ghost experience. You see, that doing it once put her over 50%. So it's a big advantage, and I should be doing way more of it, but I'm not used to doing the magic. It's unusual. Yes, it's very grand, sort of battlefield, like battle magic that's sort of in a Warhammer-y kind of thing, where it's not a wizard throwing a fireball at a guy 30 yards away, like pathetic MMO magic. It's your wizards in here performing rituals. This is the magic tower. In here doing rituals that affects someone 1,000 miles away in another place. It's like putting a curse on someone. It's got a better application. Of course it is like fire and doing damage and everything like that, but there's other things. But it's given a sense of grandiosity just because of the context in which it's placed. Did I end my turn there or not? Stay there. I'm quite impressed with this Legion faction, actually. They're being rather good.
Magister.
I'm into the witches. Oh, look out. There's some ghosts and a fighter and another ghost. It's two specters, a ghost and a fighter, guarding this haunted tower here. Brethos Ruin. Now, this would be way out of our price league at the moment. I think we wait there and heal up again. Maybe upgrade it when we get the chance. Now, can we get in that tower and inspect it without angering the... Well, I guess we can't. Now, thieves, we can poison them. See, we can poison them. We can engage the leader. Who was the leader of this? I don't remember. Like, if it was a... Let's just have a look at it. It might be the fighter. No, it's the Spectre. That's interesting. So you can put it on auto battle and we are guaranteed to win. Right? The game knows this. It doesn't make you do the charade where it paralyzes me every turn until it fails its 75% chance to paralyze me and I can get a hit in for 10 years. I could have clicked like auto resolve actually. That's an option. So we can delete one of the enemies. And they moved out of the way, which is actually to our advantage. I didn't know they'd do that. That makes me look like a real grandmaster player there. Doing that and having the whole stack move so I can inspect the tower and see what lives within. A fighter and a warlock. That's no problem. And they're guarding some sort of treasure, but we don't know what it is. Now, it might be worth healing the rest of the way here. Leader's always the cheapest to heal. And if we can sally out from our captured city and we can... I don't know if I'm... See, this is one of the ambiguities. Like, I click on the tower, but I don't know by this red flag if I'm going into the tower or if I'm attacking the Spectres. Let's just see. Oh, we're in the Spectre battle, right? It's a little ambiguous sometimes exactly what we're looking at. That's normal. I should have known it would prioritize the Spectres, actually. Ghosts and Spectres. Virtually the same thing. One's an upgrade of the other. This Ghosts have 65% chance to paralyze, and Spectres have got 70. Look at that. And they can't win from this position either. Oddly enough, if I turned them into imps, their chances would be better. So we won't do that. They don't have any attack moves, so once their fighter was gone, the battle's finished. Oh, look out, the sorcerer leveled up. He's got 85 health now, and 1% more chance to hit, and 3 more damage. So he levels up, but leveling up like this isn't as good as advancing what kind of unit you are. Which is the frustrating thing about some of the units that are really enticing and good, but they like stop like 2 places into the advancement building tree when the other side goes all the way down and seems so much more powerful. I guess if it's a really long game on a big map, you want to go down the longest possible tree. Whereas on a smaller game, the other options are more viable because you can more reasonably just go that far and no further. Like you have to stop there. Can we steal stuff from the shop with our thief? That's the question. We've got a chance of success, 60%. Steal an item from the merchant. 60% is actually good odds. He's got some good stuff too. The most chief of which may be the healing ointment though. Water warding. Increases damage inflicted by the enchanted unit in battle for 1 day. That sounds pretty good. An item has been stolen from the merchant. We got a potion of might. That's good work, thief. Put it on the ground, please. You gotta choose a spot where you put it, and then you put it there. Now we'll do that after we've dealt with what's within. Look at that warlock back there. See, the warlocks, they don't belong to the Legion of the Damned. They're a whole other thing. They're basically apprentice necromancers. Oh, managed to run there. The sorcerer has a very Dracularian look to him as well. Very intriguing, the polymorph. It removes the ability of like ranged units to do range damage and healers to heal, and stops special effects from happening. And there's all sorts of application for that. The only thing is you're never going to be able to stop it completely because of the initiative of the witch is so low. The only thing you're guaranteed to stop is a healer who has 10 initiative. Which is significant, I guess. That's not insignificant. But there's a lot of really interesting things enemies can do that you're not going to be able to stop on the first. Highfather's Potion adds 15% hit points permanently. In a game like this, that's almost guaranteed to be on our like front fighterman. If I was in like the saga, the campaign, I'd be putting that on my main champion that I'd be taking through 1500 mission. Look at that vampire there! Blah! Bloody vampires. We're too wounded to... Oh god, the thief is in the way.
Fiat volutis.
Actually, if we just pick that up, we can probably move past him. We're too wounded to deal with bloody Draculas at this point. Draculas must attack at range. I forget what the vampire's position is in the undead army. Do they attack at range, or is this just an oddly configured force? That Orc Champion is also there. Alright. Let's park our lord in the city where he can relax. We'll upgrade it as well. It's probably in threat range of having some yahoos show up. I'm going to install a gargoyle. I'm going to install 2 gargoyles in the city. Look at them. The populace doesn't dare step out of line. Oh, the wall of text is continuing, I see, in the chat box. I'm interested in this dragon. We don't have that much longer to play with this, but we're never going to be able to complete the scenario. We've got one of the desired cities. I'm guessing the other one is over there. The Empire's objective is to capture the central one and the one over here, and they're nowhere near. I think they had to collect that one. They're absolutely nowhere near us. Like, we're in the middle. This is on the hard setting, and they're not really attempting the objective, it feels like. But they could surprise me at any moment. You never know what the computer's going to do. I'm fully intrigued by the dragon. And I'm intrigued, likewise, by the prospect of possibly being able to fight and kill the dragon. My lord, here is an altar dedicated to some ancient entity. We must proceed with caution. Caution? You should be cautious when you assume I care about your superstitions. That's an awkward sentence, Duke. Your wit fails you. There's an unknown treasure there. Doragon's altar. And this mega dragon. You know, if the witch can survive the first round against the dragon, she can probably turn it into a fat imp. And then we can probably defeat it easily. It's like one of the advantages of the witches. Green dragon. Now, dragons, big problem. Dragons, and I'm going to demonstrate this by putting not a hellhound. I'll put the giant devil in front of it. Hellhound is probably more appropriate. Let's attack it. Then we can look at it. Okay, the dragon. 660 health. Look at that. Right? It does 66 damage with its fire breath that hits every enemy. The mythological green dragon camouflages itself in forests. Some say they live up to 3,000 years. And it's immune to fire. We are toast against this thing, actually. All my men do is fire. That's a big problem. It took my hellhound hopeless. All it does is fire. I'm going to need taller men to deal with this thing. I'm going to need a gargoyle, as a matter of fact. Oops, I clicked wait. We can't even attack it. Oh, we can. Immune. The Hellhound is wasting its breath on this dragon. Immune to fire. All my damage magic does fire. It looks like it's got a little crown on its head at first glance. So I don't know what my battle strategy is going to be. But it's in a very important spot because it's guarding a gold mine. We're going to want that. There's unknown treasure there. The Empire is much better equipped to deal with that dragon. I wonder if there's like a parallel super beast up here. I see an ogre up there. Like parallel to the dragon. That's not really parallel, is it? Whatever's parallel to the dragon is going to be up here somewhere, maybe. No, wait, that's the edge of the map. Maybe there only is one dragon. It's not a non-symmetrical map. Yeah, typical dragon guarding gold. Alright, what's our plan? Our plan, strictly speaking, would be for our man here to survive long enough. But then again, if he turns into a fat imp, it's going to be hitting us with 30 damage every turn, and it's not going to have less health. So I'd like to have a gargoyle helping. I don't have enough money. Ah, will it be immune to fire as an imp? I don't think it would inherit it shouldn't, should it? It shouldn't still be vulnerable to fire if it's an imp. Everything gets stripped off it. You raise a good point. I didn't think of that. Alright, we'll have to confront it, because that's the most exciting thing we can do. And that might be the final act of this attempt at a quest. I'm going to heal everybody for good measure, because we're all going to get blasted by Dragon Breath. Okay. And it does enough Dragon Breath to kill the witch straight up, so we're going to have to prevent that. Here's some boots. These were in town. I didn't notice those. This was the town treasure, the Boots of Speed, which we can't use. Yeah, and we have to hope that the witch doesn't miss. Otherwise we lose. We do have this. So she can take less... Wait, how much damage did the dragon do? 60... No, the merchant, did he have a potion that protect? He did. Oh, that's a fire ward. That would be one way of optimizing our survivability as well. Fire warding. Enchanted units are unaffected by the first fire-based attack in battle. 400 gold.
Fiat Volutus.
I wonder if we can just steal that. When I play this, I get more enjoyment out of like working through the map than I do like tactical warfare. Not tactical, strategic warfare against an opponent. I like working through the map and all of its increasing like level monsters and challenges. Like this is exciting to me, this dragon. Let's try and steal it. Ah, good. Good. Good work, thief. Potion of fire warding. Now, who should we put that on? %50 less damage. Well, if the witch dies at once to the dragon's breath, so does this. All of our hopes are going to be on top of the... yes, there is. There's that mental spell as well. The Beliar demon can hurt the dragon. Let's do all the stuff we can. Tormentio. Reduce... I don't think it had armor. That's mind damage, but there's a bigger mind damage spell, isn't there? Or is that like in the 3rd rank? We can't do that. No, wait. Infernal and Death. Yes, that's... we can do that. Sorry, I thought it was... life, but that's this one. Infernal and Death. Let's cast it and see what happens. We did a little bit of damage. Not very much. I'm going to put the Beliar in there to see if it can do a little bit more. I'm going to have to take another look at Disciples 3 to look at its artwork. I know I don't like the game at all. I really don't like the hex grid battles. I really prefer this. The Beliar. Look at this big battle. Actually, can my champions, like, reach the dragon before... before next turn? It might heal. It's not going to heal all of that. We've done big damage to it. What have we got here? Let's have a look. We got this too. Increased damage. Let's put everything we got into the dragon battle. Can we get all the way down there? I don't think so. Alright, next turn is the dragon battle. Alright. Now we could hit it with magic again, but I don't want to do that. It's too much. So, 50% less damage from attacks for one day. I'm going to put that on my Berserker. Fire warding I'm going to put on the witch that we need. So she gets at least 2 attempts. And the Potion of Might. Who does the most damage? I think I can do 2 potions. And there's Prohibion. Speaking of devils, there we are. Alright, dragon battle. Oh, Prohibion as well. Subscribing at the same moment. That's a lot of months. You're right. 41 months of power. Yeah, thank you. Here's the dragon battle. Oh, we have the... oh, it's healed all of its health. All that magic was for naught. That makes this way more exciting than if we dumped a bunch of magic on it. Look at the witch. They're completely invulnerable. The sorcerer might as well not even be here. He's an oaf. I should have had him wait, actually. Because that'll put his initiative in the last position. In the hopes that our witch succeeds at an 80% chance of polymorphing the dragon. Which isn't immune or warded against mind magic. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a fat imp. Now it's immune to nothing. Good. Dragon defeated, practically. 17 damage, feeble. Bring it down, men. Witch has done her job. She can have the rest of the fight off. She may even become a hag from this, actually. She might get a promotion. Oh, it's restored! Oh, the beast! Oh, now it's just the 2 of us! Damn it, it's not forever. I should have had her wait. Turn it back into a fat imp. I don't know if that's regular or if it happens. If there might be every round there might be a save. There, dragon defeated. Promote that hag, please. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, and the anti-paladin is here. They both got promoted, as they should. They earned that. Anything they desire. Look at how cool she looks, actually. Slightly out of focus back there. She's got a knife that we can hardly see. Good. More hit points, and I don't know if there's any difference in her polymorphing powers. Get that treasure. The Banner of War. Increases by 20% the damage inflicted by all units in the party. Banners are super good. They go up here. You can only have one of them. But our leader is dead and can't use anything and can't use banners anyway. Victory! And now we can send a Baroness down there to claim that gold, but we don't have enough time. Really, that was the main event of the thing. I'll put a save here. Here's all my High Dragons of Doom. This is Demonry. The Dragon Master of Doom was a good game I was having at one point as well, where I had an undead warrior with his 2 dragons wandering around the woods. I'll put a save there. And now, I'm going to do the other thing that I wanted to do at the start, which was let you listen to the excellent narration when you start a saga. You get, like, some lore, and it's read very well in a beautiful voice. The reader of which did not return for, like, Rise of the Elves, so that has a different reader, who is also pretty good, but not quite as good as this guy. Alright. What about... No, not the demons. Get them out of here. Not the undead either. What about the mountain clans? Dark Prophecy. Warrior. Grandalf. Grandalf. That sounds stupid. What about Rundalg? He's a warrior lord and a half, is Rundalg. Now listen.
More than a decade has passed since the first great wars ended. When infernal beasts and demons poured forth from the ground, the human empire did their best to resist the unholy onslaught. Alas, the beloved queen was killed, and Uther, the sole heir, disappeared from the realm. The combined forces of the empire and mountain clans with the retrieved runic wisdom sealed the infernal rift before the accursed one could arise. The menace posed by the undead hordes came to an end with the beheading of the dwarven High King Sturmir. Mortis's vengeance accomplished, her minions fell lifelessly to the ground. Their languid voices echoed with no answer. Bards feared to weave tales of the suffering brought by the first great wars. Stories of these terrible events traveled only on witches' winds.
That's good narration, in my opinion. The voice matches the presentation.
A decade had passed since the Infernal Gate was sealed. 10 years of relative peace for the mountain clans. From the 12 clans, only 7 emerged from the Great Wars, and many feared yet another encounter with the perfidious undead hordes. When High King Sturmir Thunderhammer was slaughtered, the surviving clans elected Morok Cloudkeeper as ruler. Sturmir had reigned for many decades, and the clans grieved his terrible loss. Morok was a brave warrior, but he failed to foster unity, and in time some clans departed to find refuge in higher mountains. Wotan, god of the dwarves, had granted his disciples 12 ancestral runes to protect their race. Before the first great wars, each clan had guarded one of the runes. Now, with 5 of the clans annihilated, the runes were scattered. Morok ordered his forces to search the rubble of the dead clan cities for the lost runes.
Aye. Now we've got an objective as well. That's good. That's good. Of course, the dwarf... the premise for the dwarf saga is something really direct. Dagaric! There's Morok. I depend on you to seek out the clans which fell during the first great wars. The clans Springfrost, Cragwell, and Skymine lie closest. Salvage the runes from the ruins of their once great cities and return them to me. Very dwarfy. We're instantly surrounded by brigands as well that we're going to get levels off. By the way, the Dwarf City looks so beautiful to me. This is gorgeous, old and tumble down. Like there's a grandeur to them, but the city looks like it's barely being held together. Like they're in decline, and it actually, if you play Vermintide 2, the fortress you live in, it's very reminiscent of this. It's a mostly ruined imperial keep in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty good too. As the dwarfs, and because we're in a campaign, by the way, the game very wisely keeps secret the units that you're going to unlock throughout the rest of the campaign. It doesn't let you even look. It just lets you see what the first upgrade you're going to get. I like this. It keeps the mystery. So in a way, I regret going through all the units for the other. Yeah, and as you upgrade it, it starts to look better, more built up and prosperous. When you choose Warrior Lord, you're granted the King's Guard, which has a beautiful dwarfy portrait. Look at him there. Still got quite a bit of youth to him. A lot of black in the beard. He looks great. He's a warrior, very direct. He does damage to adjacent units, and he's got a battle axe, and he looks great as well. Let's take a giant with us, and an axe master, or a tenderfoot to boost our already formidable battle skills. Tenderfoots boost damage. We get 25 plus extra damage from a tenderfoot. And they have 70 initiative, which is amongst the highest in the game, which allows them to go first, so you're guaranteed to get your little boost wherever you go. So it's very valuable. They're an excellent unit. They upgrade into alchemists, which have the lowest initiative, because an alchemist doesn't do this. They grant an extra attack. So if we gave it to our warrior here, he does potentially 120. Having an alchemist is almost like having basically a clone of your best unit, almost, in terms of damage, because your unit gets to do 2 attacks. Its second attack is on the alchemist's initiative, though. That's a whole other matter. That's over-explaining an irrelevant feature. Yeah! There's some thugs and a peasant, 2 thugs without a leader. Let's go after them. Here's our leader here. Look at him. Look at his sprite. We've got our giant next to us. And our tenderfoot has the initiative. And boosts the King's Guard to greater feats. And in rage, he lashes out. Ah! A grim omen! A grim omen has come upon the land. Oh no! Yep. Sometimes I think I give the impression in this game that when you pick the kind of lord you are, this is the kind of character you must have. You can in fact mix and match. Like you can, when you've got enough gold, hire a new leader of a different type. Like this is the one you start with if you're the mage lord, who is the lawmaster, who has a great horn that he blows. Horn of blasting that causes rocks to fall upon the entire enemy force. And if you're the guild master, you get the engineer, who is a ranged fellow with a crossbow, who can use travel items. So if you want to have a warrior lord but have this, you totally can. It just costs you a couple of turns. In fact, it's probably worth using the warrior for those first few turns to get some experience on whatever army you have. Now, the feature of the warrior lord that causes it to be like the easiest is if we look at our health totals here, and we just end the turn, we're not in town or anywhere specific or anywhere good. And yet, over that time, our giant is now fully healed and our main warrior is healed. You get 15% of your health of all of your units across the whole game is healed every day for free with no extra effort because you're the warrior lord. And that's really good. A green dragon was blown back. The witch proved instrumental. Oh, the King's Guard might be an oaf. I'm starting to think he's an oaf. We're boosting him. Technically, he's in the best condition of his life. He's in the prime of his days. But the local brigands And his chance to hit isn't even unusually bad. It's 80%. That's normal. Oath kings attract oath guards. I'm afraid that's true, Lion. That's why I've got a giant with me as well to settle matters. So when you're the warrior lord, you can go across the land with some impunity. No, I probably wouldn't risk that master thug, though. Master thugs can hit you for a lot and they poison you. So if I fail to damage him, like, in a direct fashion, like right away, as is likely, I'm in a lot of trouble. But oh, look, lore. My lord, how did the runes ever become lost? Will Wotan not be angry if we treat his gifts thus? After the great wars, much was lost. Whole cities were burned and clans extinguished. We had no way to protect the runes then, but now we must show strength. There's some lore for you. The trade-off with the warrior lord is, of course, you, no matter what happens or whatever there's a magic tower up there. Looks great. A little bit rickety. One of the things I liked about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was how beautiful the castles were, and expansive the big castle was. Two giant castles, and they were really great to be. You have no 5th level magic, no matter what scenario you're on. Oh, excuse me. This is just forbidden to you, the highest level of magic. And all of the magic costs twice as much to research, and you can only cast it once. If you're the Mage Lord, they cost half as much to research, and you can cast each spell twice if you've got enough mana to do so. So you can throw big damage on wandering armies and everything like that. Well, what's this? Well, Brockix, you're welcome. 40 months of power. Yeah, thank you. I saw IK there and I thought we're talking about Age of Barbarians. Chronicles. But 15% health regen is worth all of that and more. Because you can stay out in the field for a dog's age. Like my hero here, because he's in town. And you get the 15% on top of whatever town gives you. You know? So we're fully ready to go. We're very vigorous when you're play as the warrior lord. Big health on the dwarfs as well. Terrible initiative. Like most warrior type characters will have 50, the dwarf has 40. Terrible. The giant has 30, so you're always going last unless you're the tenderfoot. But it's important that she goes first. If she didn't, it would be a complete fiasco. Oh, the giant can't even hit him from there because it's adjacent, so that's only these. The giant would only be able to hit this character if this one was already dead. That's the caveat of the lords of this land. I like Guildmaster and Warrior both better than Mage Lord, even though Mage Lord is super effective. And whenever I am playing as Mage Lord, I'm like, yeah, Mage Lord's great. Like we were just before, getting big benefit out of the magic. But a lot of the time I just forget about the magic. That's where I learned that habit from, playing other lords and not having the magic, so you don't even think about it. So that Master Thug and his companion really did a lot of damage to us. And warriors start with artifact lore, so they can just equip artifacts that they find, including the goblet that we had before and things like that immediately available to them. They don't get no lord starts with banners, but if you do eventually want to get banners, because banners are very powerful, and going around with them is a highly desirable state of affairs. Now, if we want to upgrade our tenderfoot, I think we can do it. If we can upgrade our tenderfoot into a novice, which is the same, except the boost is twice as good, right? The magical potions of the novice increase the damage of one unit in battle. The novice is, of course, at great risk from enemies that can shoot at range. Alright? Big problem. So that's a big weakness. It's very difficult. I'd say it's probably, hopefully, impossible to create like a unit, like with the leader and all of his companions, that doesn't have some sort of weakness where they can't be levered out of their comfort zone. You probably can create super robust ones with various factions, but nothing's invulnerable. A quirk of how this game works is because it's very difficult to eliminate. I've never done it or seen it done. Eliminate a faction. You wind up just sort of having to deal with them for the whole game. Like, you defeat their highest level characters and everything, and then you have your men sort of surrounding their town permanently while your main character goes off and does other things out in the realm. They're always on constant suppression, so you never get rid of them, so their turn always keeps coming around, and they'll annoy you. They'll send low-level armies out into the wilderness just to vex you, basically. We sally out to cleanse the land of these interloping thugs. Yep. Look, struck down in a single blow. Not even the giant can equal that. Although he could equal it if he wanted. If only the Tenderfoot would favour him. Oh, but the Lord, unhappy with that state of affairs, takes the death blow for himself. The giant gets nothing. And that's the start of the feud between them. In a long-running feud that would shake the earth in later years. Generations would pass before anything would be settled. Big problem. That's why when you live in a fantasy world with dwarves and elves, you sort of got to duck and cover, because their mildest feuds will shake the pillars of the earth for generations of your people. But for them, it's like it's within part of one generation. It's like a mild spat, probably. You've got to worry about all this stuff. Here's 3 thugs, all together. Oh, she favours the giant this time. This time he's guaranteed to strike someone down. This is a King Kong style romance. The Lord strikes one. Doesn't finish him off. The shame. The giant misses. Ah! See, this drama's unfolding fully. She's given up on him. Now only the Lord is considered worthy of the magic of the novice. The giant is dying. But the Lord's heart is true and doesn't leave his friend vulnerable to the enemy. They slay each other's most dangerous opponent, but the heart of the Tenderfoot is not swayed. It's a Kong game after all. I have no idea what multiplayer games of this must be like, where you're both trying to... Yeah, at some point you'd have to guess what your opponent was trying to do. Right, and you'd build something that both counters them and is effective enough to go across the map with some ease. And it'd all come down to just wiping out their most powerful guy, and then they'd probably just have to leave the game. Because you'd never be able to recover, or it feels like it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's nearly time for the stream to end. That is its nature. All streams must finish. Warrior Lords typically, actually, I guess half of them can fly, so I was going to say they usually like have to move. Most of them can fly. The Empire's a Pegasus Knight, the Undead one is a Death Knight who can also fly. All of the Legions of the Damned leaders can fly. Poor Kingsguard Dwarf here is the only Warrior Lord who cannot fly. Who has to deal with the land. How exciting. Yeah. Sometimes you run afoul of your own hubris, like I tend to do. Like, what could possibly be in this ruin? And you go in there and there's like 2 dragons. And they're immune to fire and it's huge problems. Nonetheless, this would be a good campaign. All of the campaigns are really intriguing to me. I'd like to play through them, actually. The thug and the... Now, let's not get into battle. Let's just relax. Let's relax on the open field. Here at the first crossroads of the land. Dagaric surveys the realm. It's time for the stream to end. I guess I'll see you all in the future. It'll be happy times anyway. But a happy stream. This game is so great. I recommend. You never know what's going to happen. This game is wonderful. I'd like to play it a lot more than I have.
There's no foe here.
There's no foe here. He's furious with these affairs.
Enough talk.